Welcome back, Potters, to Backyard Ceramics. Today is we're up to day dozen. So welcome to day dozen. Why am I eating a popsicle? Well, because today I'm going to make some tools, and I needed a popsicle stick. I left all my tools at school, so I have been using just mainly various skewers and a little multi-tool. But I want to do some other stuff, so I'm going to make some tools today. Obviously, popsicle stick is one thing. I've got some other random junk here, so I'm going to see what I can come up with. Well, I finished my popsicle, and it was a sugar-free popsicle, so it's not sticky. And I'm just going to grab this little multi-tool here. There's a knife blade. There it is. Okay, and I just want to make this into kind of a wood knife. I'm just going to cut off kind of at an angle here. And carve that away. Almost done. So this is a very quick process. This knife blade is not very sharp. I need to sharpen that. Kind of bevel the edges. And now I've got a functional, this thing is not good at close-ups, is it? Functional little sculpting tool. I don't have any used gift cards, okay, or the fake credit cards they used to mail you, or any of that kind of stuff that I usually make ribs with. But I figure an empty bottle here, I wonder if I can get this in frame. Empty bottle can be a couple of things. First off, obviously I can use that as a funnel if I ever need to pour liquid from one bottle to another. So I'll save that. And then maybe get some, I need scissors. But luckily I've got my other pocket knife here. And I can use this, make that edge straighter. I can use that for smoothing and compressing slabs. So that's functional. That's functional. Put these in my tools. This is a picture hanging little sawtooth hanger. And if I bend this into a U shape, and then attach this with some wire to the end of a chopstick, I can use that as, you know, as a tool for removing clay. Chopsticks themselves I can carve into a point. I'm not worried about a needle tool because I don't have a wheel here, so I'm not. I wish I had a wheel here. Should have brought my wheel home. Next time I get quarantined, I'm going to plan ahead better. Yeah, next time. Anyway, so I'm not worried about a needle tool. Anything that I need, you know, small points for, I can use a bamboo skewer. I could carve a chopstick. I might make an eye tool later on by carving a dowel or a stick if I find a nice stick in the yard. So yeah, a piece of metal from what's that? Can lid. Okay, I can cut strips of metal from this to use as well. So I'm going to keep that handy. So here's one of these little paint brushes with like a sponge tip to it. I'm going to use that for smoothing fine details and things like that. So I'll keep that in here. So once I finish that one metal tool I'm grinding, I think that I'll be pretty well set. Found this piece of brass rod. It's not really brass, I don't know. Probably aluminum. Focus. I don't know. It's threaded, so put it on this brick. I've been bashing it with the rounded end of this hammer, and I'm going to see if I can make a pointed kind of scoopy sculpting tool out of that. Alright, luckily I did have the foresight to bring my Dremel tool home with me, but I did not bring any of my sculpting tools, so I've hammered this flat on both sides. I'm going to grind it a little bit thinner to make it more like a kind of a blade. I'm going to leave one of them serrated like this because I think that'll be useful for scraping away. I'm going to make this more of a curve for like scraping away clay, and then the other one's going to be more smooth and pointed to a point. So now I've got the kind of rough shape of this. I'm going to make it a little thinner, a little sharper on the edges, a little more pointy at the end, and then I'm going to curve it in this direction. Haven't started grinding this side, but I've been just using the rough sanding wheel to get the rough shape of it. After much grinding with the Dremel, I've got this to a fairly sharp point, and then the edges are sharpened as well. Yeah, so you can see that would be used for scooping and fine detail. Now the clay that I'm using might not be really well suited for fine detail. Because it's got, you know, some sand and larger particles in it, but I'm going to try it out anyway. I think maybe later on in the week I'll do some relief sculpture. So this is one of the, I modeled this after one of the tools that I use quite a bit, and I think this will be almost as good. And then this side, I left the threads on the edges so it's kind of serrated. I mean, that's like a saw blade almost, and made it sharp on the edge too. So this will be good for, you know, removing clay, leveling places off, and even, you know, digging straight edges. So I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. Now, this one was the most work of all the tools that I'm making. Obviously a popsicle stick's a whole lot easier to work with than a piece of metal. So if you don't have a Dremel, you can always carve up a popsicle stick to make some pretty functional tools too. So these are the tools I made. This one was probably the quickest and easiest, and probably the one I'll end up using the most. This one took the most amount of effort. This metal piece, by the way, I'm 90% certain is a part of an old toilet. It'd be the threaded rod that held the float on one side and attached to the valve on the other side, so it would shut off on the inside. So not the part of the toilet that's the dirty part. So it's alright. In any case, I'm pretty proud of this tool. I think I'll get some use of that. And then of course, any number of sizes and shapes of ribs made out of just thin plastic from a soda bottle. So I'll be using those in my next project. Oh, by the way, over here, I'm going to refire these. They didn't turn out as well as I wanted them to, but making these West Virginia pendants, I thought that would be kind of clever because it's made out of West Virginia clay. So you can wear it on a necklace and take part of West Virginia with you everywhere you go. I think I'm also going to refire this one. I had it unglazed and raku fired, and it's a rattle, by the way. But I think I might glaze it and raku fire it again, just, you know, see what happens. Alrighty, be well, and see you tomorrow.